Hello, hello, hello. Come on, talk to me. Right. I can hear myself now. That's it, back on. Right. Let's see if we can find a room. Mxgp, what's the biggest room with a GP? There's only 4. Gangweed. Well, let's join Mr. Gangweed. Get my controller plugged in as well. Oh, it's going to let me race straight away. No spectating required. Mr. Speedy. With a name like Speedy, you've got to have a wee bit of speed, you'd like to think. Nobody's having a boat just yet. Let's go for a 5-minute one. See if we can tempt anybody else to have a boat. Bum bum bum. Is it only us? No, there's somebody else there having a boat day. Does anybody want to dive at Matterley Basin? Give me a race. Let's show them the Matterley Basin track is there and available to add to. No one's being tempted just yet. I must have tempted someone else into it. Are we going to win with Matterley Basin? It looks like it. At least it's a track we know to start us off. Never noticed if there was collisions or contact or anything on in this one. We can take our time. you're gentle. You were gentle, weren't you? My God. Oh my goodness, Stephen, did you forget? Right, can we get this on our first effort? No, missed the downside. What about... Yeah, we got that bit anyway. I repay the favour to you, mate. Hey, what do I think? Just let you know, at least, that we're not pleased. We think you're a dirty dog. Oh, you missed. Oh, he'll be coming again for another one, no doubt. He missed me again. Oh, fuck, where are we going? I just nudge you out there, maybe. How do you feel about that wee nudge? We scrub there, please. Right, second time. Come on, get it. The second time. Hit the downside. Come on, get under the top of the table. We can indeed. What about that wee little bit of the jump? No. Oh, come on, you. Come on. Bike feels slightly different. I didn't realise the last couple of times I've been playing it. I thought it was on this here white Kawasaki. I wasn't, it was on the Husqvarna. The last couple of times I played it. I just realised there now. I've changed it over to the Kawasaki. She feels a wee bit slightly different. A wee bit sluggish. Ah, missed it. I think he slowed down to try and take us out. A whole lap, so back markers are not ghosted. Is he coming for us? I would say is. Oh, like that. I had got rid of that stuff on the other bike. You fool, you fool. I think he's mad. I think he's mad. Let's play with each other, sir. Let's play with each other. Let's see if you can hit this line. What do I think? Or else we nail this line and just leave you behind, sir. Oh, we'll just leave you behind. Nah, we do. Just leave you behind. Your slow ass ain't good enough. Alright, Jerry. How's you, Jerry? We took some guy out at the start of this one because he was a dirty dog and he's waited a whole lap to try and slow us down. He's now going to have to wait another whole lap if he wants to have another effort at us, as he ain't catching me. Almost feel like going back on that Husky just because I've got the feel of how it's handling. This bike is definitely a bit more awkward than what I was used to in the corners there. Had a few wee silly stabbards and stuff. He's still there, he's still hoping, or if that's even him. Now we scrub there, please. Can we stay the range of him? Oh, he must want it. Hey, lad. Come on, get around there. Oh, he's giving up the ghost. He's giving up the ghost. See if we can nail this wee line again. Go on, get over and give me the wee little bit, give me the little bit. Hello? Oh, I can talk. I can talk as well. So I kind of forgot. When I press R3. Second place, baby. Second place. You're good, Jerry. Getting the hang of. I don't know, Jerry. There's still no consistency in it. I'm gonna, if it allows me to jump back on that Husky, I'm gonna jump back on the Husky because I've been accidentally playing with it the last twice I played, and maybe it was it on that bike that I changed the settings or something as well, but that bike handled slightly different there than what I was hoping for. Made a few mistakes and I had a lot less consistency on that track. Who was it? It was him, I think, who left. I beat him so bad he quit. Oh dear, oh dear. Yeah, we quick one will do. He couldn't. It was his own fault as well. Like, I do start the races with a right attitude, but I think after 3 corners he had made it clear that if there was any chance that he was going to be able to slam one up the inside of you and push you out off the track, he took me out twice in the first lap, and then whenever I caught back up to him, I let it be known very obviously by just slowing down and parking in front of him and pushing him off the track just to let him know you're a dirty dog, and then pulled away from him and he slowed right down and waited for a whole lap to get some revenge. That's actually not the best of of things, at least in Gran Turismo. You're able to ghost them out. I don't think it gives you the option to ghost them out on this, so it means if you were in the middle of a big race and there was an idiot that could well ruin a half-hour race in the last 5 minutes but doing stuff like that. Right, where's, let me see my bike rider. Can I change my bike? Right, career preset. Right, that's me back on the Husky now. Not sure what track this is. Definitely need to get back on that Kawasaki and start getting the feel of it instead, like, or else at least make my Husky green, because this should be a Kawasaki. I really want to learn how to drive on it. Not that there's not usually an awful lot of difference between the bikes. Faenza, I'm not sure if I know this one or not. What is the I wasn't too sure what to do today. I turned the game on a couple of hours ago there, and I bounced on the second account on Gran Turismo. I drove around the next week's manufacturers, a couple of laps. I don't even know if I'm going to do it. It's one of the versions. It is only a wee small version, but it's not the nicest of tracks. It feels nicer to me the other way. Right, where are we going? Where are we going? Oh, we're not going there. Well, come on. I'd almost got rid of all those wee, the silly movements in the corners. Ah, come on, Stephen. But don't he know the track? Again, even in the middle of the track, that wee glitch is happening on a lot of the jumps. Oh. Oh, where are you going? Where are you going? Got away with it. Oh, Victor's missing wee lines here and there. Again, like, what is that all about? Awful glitch. Oh, where am I going? Where am I going? Ah. Come on, come on. Oh. Oh, come on. Oh. In you go. Oh, 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 there was no drive. Come on, come on. Get stopped. Go on, son. Has he got us? He's almost got us. Difference between the outside and the inside line. Again, what is it with that jump? No matter where you hit it. Come on, get turned. Oh, Stephen, that's awful. Oh, oh. We're trying our best to throw it away. Come on, get turned. Oh, there's a good wee one there. Mr. Victor. Applying the pressure. Oh. Small lappies as well, I don't see. I know it's early. Well, it was earlier whenever bounced on it a couple of hours ago for a couple of races, but not many lappies. There was only like half a dozen lappies even available, and none of them were big lappies. Doesn't seem like there's a lot of people playing this. There's no hurry. How many's in the room now? Just a 3. Ugh, get away, I'm going. Let's see if we can find a better room. Time of day we at 5 o'clock already. My goodness. Multiplayer. There's one with 10 in it in a race. Let's join Yemen's. Have they got collisions? No, they've got collisions off. Helpful if you're trying to learn the track, but definitely collisions should be on if you're doing proper racing. Don't mind now, as if we're trying to get a bit of speed and consistency up. But yeah, if we do end up playing this and enjoying it, we'll not be driving about having races with the collisions turned off. Contact is way too important in motocross. You're meant to be allowed to do that. This boy here, and these two in front of him, the fact that they're still in front of him, he's looking pretty decent. I fancy this guy to win this, from what I've seen so far of him. Yep, look at that, a wee bit of style about him. Hello Keith, nice to see you sir. Have you had any Gran Turismo fun yet today? I didn't have any races in it today now, but I've done about 5 minutes around the seaside on the second account to put in a wee qualifying time in case I fancy a bit of fun at some point during the week. And went to Wednesday's manufacturers one as well, just to see what track it was on, and it's a wee small track, but it's not the version that is nice. It doesn't feel that nice to me anyway, so it doesn't. I prefer that one the other way, going backwards. You did a couple of laps to see your time at race C. Yeah, basically that's all I done as well. You think not too quick yet. Was it a 129? I'm not even sure what time I done. I spent about maybe 5-10 minutes on it. I think the fast guys were the real fast guys in the 26s, was it, or the 25s even maybe? I think it was a 27 maybe. I don't know why I've got that in my head. I could be wrong. I knew I was still well off young JJ's pace, although a good half second still in it for me. You can tell just by how much you're able to gain and losing the ghost and stuff. What was he doing there? They're trying to use that fence as a berm. I reckon this is the quickest I've seen so far. I don't know this track myself, but he looks like he's hauling some ass around here. Getting stopped really good there as well, even though he's landing in the corner. Your aim is to be under 2 seconds from the top 10. Yeah, that's anytime I go into the practice, I usually spend maybe I play a wee game in my head, a set of ghosts, and then you have 3 goes to beat it, and you just keep playing that game. Sometimes it only lasts a couple of minutes, other times you could be there improving for half an hour, and then once I don't beat that in my head, I then go and see how far off the pace I am, and then I go and have a wee look at a replay and see how they're changing gears, how they're revving the car and stuff, if they're in the same car as me, or if I can find anybody in the top 10 in the same car as me. See if we can get any pointers, and you usually do. You usually get a few pointers near straight away, a couple of corners maybe that they're dropping into a different gear or something, and then try and improve again. But I used to always be pretty happy if I got down to within a couple of seconds of the top 10 guys myself. I think the closest I've ever got was there was a Monza. Whenever I actually I had kind of lost a wee bit of interest a lot of months ago in the streaming and stuff, and instead of doing streams, I actually enjoyed doing the qualifying, trying to get into the top 10 at Monza. So it was, and I was really close to getting into it, and then I thought once I did get into it, but then by the time I went back and looked at the top 10 times had improved again by a couple of tenths, and we ended up, I think, 3 tenths away from getting into the top 10, and my optimal time would have put me in the, I think it was maybe up into 7th, although no one really hits their optimal time anyway ever, so don't. But yeah, I quite enjoyed that as well. It's like a totally different kind of game. It can be very frustrating at times. I mean, for myself, driving round and round on your own trying to beat a ghost. And it's weird how some ghosts are easy to beat. Like sometimes you could play for half an hour trying to beat a ghost, and he's really hard to beat just because of one corner that he really nails. And then as soon as you do beat that ghost, the next ghost is really easy to beat because he didn't really nail that corner. It can be very frustrating at times. Yeah, they do indeed. They change very quick. I was in the top 10, I think once, but that was when I stayed up all night on Sunday night, and I was bored. And as soon as they came out the next day, I think I bounced on, and I was sitting in 3rd place for about a half an hour or something. I made sure I took a screenshot of that. So it did, but it was a fake 3rd place. We ended up well off the pace. Who's this MotoGP champ we're watching? No idea. This is just a lobby that we've jumped into. The last lobby we were in there. We're still slow in this game. There's maybe 3 tracks that I know a wee bit at the moment. Where I feel like whenever I do a clean lap, I do have a bit of speed on them, but speed means nothing, you know. It's all about consistency in racing games. You need to be able to do that stuff lap in, lap out, and we're nowhere near that yet. I'm not sure if we'll ever get speed and consistency up at this game. We're not totally in love with this game. We just got it because we missed the motocross game. We haven't had a motocross game in a quite a while playing it, so we got it. But the online lobbies and stuff, and I don't feel like a lot of people have went out and bought this game, as I still have a shitload of old friends who I used to play with all the time in other motocross games, and I haven't noticed any of them even on and playing it. I think they've maybe had a look at it and thought to themselves, nah, no improvements from the last game. Let's see if we can give anybody a run for their money this time. We had a bit of fun there a couple of races ago with a guy. He was a dirty dog in the first lap, and then I made it clear to him after I called him back up that we weren't happy with him, and then he couldn't catch me and he slowed down and waited. It ended up, it was a back marker who was trying to take us out, and then he quit out. Not many numbers, but on this game at the moment anyway, for sure. And they should be online, anyone who does get it, because you don't really have to grind for anything. There's nothing. You keep on making points and earning money online as you're racing online. So it's not really like a game where you have to, there's a lot of grinding in your career. You really don't have to do anything in your career. You can just go straight online and start making money and that stuff. And again, the host in this one has the collisions turned off, so there'll be no block passing in this. Get that win. Gotta get back to work. Yes, Keith, thank you very much for having in, sir. Enjoy your day. Catch you later. Have a good one, sir. Here we go. From watching that last race, these guys look like they're pretty Pretty quick. Right, there's no contact on, so don't worry about anything at all, Stephen. There's no contact on. Oh, come on, son. What are you? What are you up to? Oh, where are you going? Where are you going? That's not the track. That's not it. Oh. Looks so bad. Especially the outside ones. When you pull the sticks apart. Pushing the gear and he never pulls it back fully in the normal precision. The furthest you can pull it back, he still has that wee leg hanging out. Let's try some outside lines. Awkward enough we track this one. There's a guy there but beat so bad that he's quit out of the race. I look forward to getting on to a different track. When you don't know where you're going, it's impossible to be fast. Top 6. There's no hurry, don't you worry, we can take our time. Come a little closer. What's that? 6:45. No, what is the best lap time? 1:32. Didn't even see what I'll do myself. Mile off the pace button, that one. Right, we know Naqueen a wee bit, Matterley Basin, Mantova, we know Valkenswaard a wee bit. So if we see any of those popping up, we'll dive on them like a dog on a piece of meat. I can't believe it's 5:20 already. I feel like I'm that long. Up and out of bed. Although I am, I got out of bed at about 10:30 or 11 this morning. Let's even it up. Make it a random one. Is anyone else gonna dive? Oh, someone's doing a smaller race. 3 minutes plus 2 laps, which is still a good 5-6 minute race anyway. Let's tease them with Matterley. And we'll get Rally to dive on. There's Mantova, someone went from Mantova. I know Kegan's a wee bit as well, so there's Valkenswaard, we know Kegan's a wee bit. McQueen. Looks like we're going to Matterley Basin, right? At least we'll have a wee bit of speed here, hopefully. Don't you worry, we can take our time. Come closer. And you must be, I don't know if it's the host who's in charge of kicking people or if people are allowed to vote, but I've joined 2 lobbies and been kicked, so there must be some kind of control over who's in the lobby, whether it's a voting thing or whether the host is in charge. And the 2 that we were kicked from must have just been in with friends or something, because as soon as we joined they were just like, no, go away. Mr. Felipe Ferrari. Hello mate, nice to meet you, Felipe. Hopefully I'm pronouncing your name okay there and not destroying it. Nice to meet you, thank you for hopping in. Brazil, you're from Brazil. Big football fan then, no doubt, with some silky skills. Right, let's see if we can hang with any of these guys on the track that we know. Let's go. What do I think? Was there contact on in this one or not? I don't think there was contact on. We're going to find out right now. I know the contact was turned off. Come on, you. Oh, you followed them. You followed them, Stephen. Ain't coming near this one. Get up on top of that. JJ's in the house. Hello, JJ. Not doing dailies. No, not yet, JJ. I bounced on it earlier and stuck a wee time in just to have a time in case I fancy a wee go at them at some point. You're doing a bit of grind on Daily C. That's a risky grind you're doing there. Come on, you. Lost that flow. Oh, awful Stephen. Well, just be Mxgp today. I'm not sure, JJ. I don't really have any plans. Although my pedals were still giving me a bit of hassle the other day, this morning when I was on, doing that lap time around the seaside. They're still flickering away on me. I think I'm going to have to, the next time I clean them out, I'm going to have another wee look at them and maybe come up with a different plan in terms of trying to fix them. Like maybe try and add a wee bit of sellotape in the right place, or a wee bit of sponge, somewhere, just to to force the wee cogs up that extra wee bit, to make sure that we don't start having the brakes on. I should be able to come up with something, even if it's like a wee matchstick or something super glued down there, just to see, because the cleaning of it isn't really helping. It seemed as I say, the last time I cleaned them, I didn't think they were going to work, because they were already clean. They weren't dirty or anything, so the next time I do strip them, I'm going to have a proper wee look at them and see if I can think of something else to do. What about yourself? What is your plans for today, JJ? I think, boys, could I join this wee battle? Let's see what lines they're hitting, if they're hitting the same line that I'm trying to hit. No, they're not even trying to hit that line. And that's definitely the way to be going. Ah, come on, Stephen, what was that? Oh, what, you don't miss that burn, mate? What place is he in? Is that a bottle of bubbly? That's a third position. Could I have that off you, please, sir? Not sure, just it's GTS. Gran Turismo all day, you're thinking. I see you were doing a bit of shit mixing on Corn's channel as well, JJ. Going in and telling them I wanted to join a GTFU after me telling you no that I didn't. Having people talking about me, and then you also talked an wee bit of shite and said that I said to them, I said I would come back, only I think everybody doesn't like me. And I don't know where you heard that either, but didn't say that either, JJ. You were in talking a wee bit of shite with a big spoon, a bit of shit mixing. Oh. I did say what? You told them words of the waffler. You did not. I did not say that I would join them again, only I think everybody doesn't like me. I did not say that. I have no intentions of joining them again. In fact, there is no such again in terms of me joining the GTFU. There was no GTFU when it was with me, you know. The GTFU was made up after the guys left me. I was never with the GTFU, and I did definitely not say to you that I would join, only nobody likes me. Because hopefully there is still guys there who we're close with and perhaps do like me. There's like a couple of guys that seem to have a problem, and it's a shame how it all ended and how it went down. But yeah, I wouldn't have any intention of going to any kind of group racing. My intention is I will definitely, if the opportunity arrives again in the future, I will definitely do that on my channel, for my channel. I won't be, it'll be the way Jev is. The way Jev's channel has his own racing I'll not be going and joining Jev's racing or joining GTFU or racing for anyone else. If we do start doing anything at all, then we'll be starting it on our own channel again. Only we'll have learnt a lesson in terms of who we allow on the mics, the kind of people we allow on the mics. If there's anybody who gets a wee bit angry whenever they're racing, or a wee bit upset and annoyed whenever they're racing, then they shall definitely not be on the mics. Makes they don't. And there'll not be a lot of people on the mics either. It'll be a small group of maybe 3, 4, possibly 5, no more than 5 guys, and then it'll be like a wee commentary team or something that you build up. I think when there's too many on the mic as well, I don't think in my opinion, it's great fun whenever you're there and you're talking with all your friends. It's definitely a good laugh, I mean, talking. But in terms of how it comes across on the stream, I feel like it just comes across like a bunch of guys, I mean, having a laugh with each other, and there's usually some stuff and all usually comes out and is said that I don't particularly think is, I don't want it on my stream, you know. I don't want my stream to be coming across like it's just a bunch of guys sitting, I mean, talking as if they're out at the pub and they're talking about all sorts of stuff. I want my channel to be as nice as we can be. It's not for children at all, but hopefully, like I say, if your mum or dad ever watches any of my streams, they certainly shouldn't be mad at you and tell you you're not allowed on that stream. Whereas if they go and watch a stream where there's a bunch of 9 or 10 men, I mean, talking, I mean, to each other, and there's all sorts of rude swear words and sexual innuendos and all, I mean, being said, I'm not sure how much your parents would be happy about that. But yes, hopefully it was loads and loads of fun, for sure, and I do want to do that again at some point in the future. I just want it to be, it'll be for my channel, you know, how it was at the start, the way the races were focused around my channel, trying to advertise my channel and get my channel more popular, rather than me just going, I might as well just go into Jev's or something, you know, or else pick one that is already up and big, I mean, rather than me. Yeah, I don't know, I would just, if we do ever go there again, it'll be something that we'll create again on our own channel with our own wee team, and we'll have a lot more communication and a lot more talk with anyone who wants to come aboard with me. I'll make sure that there's no confusion as to, are you coming on board with me on my channel as part of my team, or are you part of your own team and a team who's making up your wee tournament, and you just happen to be on my channel? Because that's not how I felt it was. I felt like I was making a wee team for me and my channel, and people were joining me, and it turned out it wasn't like that for the other guys. A bit of miscommunication, and I definitely should have been communicating with them, with the admins, a lot more in terms of how many people I wanted in the chat and how I was feeling about the chat. Only I felt bad, I felt guilty about telling them, right, look, I don't want 10 people in the chat, I don't think it's coming across nice, there's rude language and I mean stuff being said that I'm a bit worried about on my stream. If I had been in communication and talking to them a lot more, then none of that stuff maybe would have went down, you know. It was a crying shame. I'm still it still upsets me to this day when I think about it. I feel like I've lost a wee bunch of friends. But from my point of view, there's not really anything that I could have done any different. Even if I hadn't have lost my cool with Jake that night, if I had stayed really calm and really happy and quite politely, I mean, told the rest of them, okay, I don't want Jake in the chat anymore, I don't feel like I was ever going to get any backup. And at that time I felt like there was a team, there was a chat made, not by me, by other people, called Scotty Admins. And I did find it a wee bit strange at the start. I thought to myself at the start, I haven't asked anybody to be my admin, but after a week or two I thought to myself, you know, I mean, the boys are working hard and are doing a lot of stuff. I'm actually glad to have them on board, I mean, with me on the channel. But that was my mistake. They weren't Scotty admins, you know. They were admins for the racing. And it came back to haunt me, because when there was an arsehole trying to make a fool out of me live on my own stream, not one of them gave me any backup. We were left to be looking like a fool. And as I say, it lowered my mood for ages. We didn't even want to stream for a while. After that I had no interest in it at all whatsoever. I felt like I lost a wee bunch of friends, and it's not nice. I stopped even fucking, I mean, going on the Corn's channel and everything, because the couple of times that I did go on to it, I seen comments about me, which is upsetting. You know what I mean? If it's random people who you don't know commenting about you, then it doesn't really affect you at all. But when it's people who you feel like is your friends, or else when there's negative comments about you on the mic, and even when it's not coming from people who you think are your friends, when your friends are in that room and on the mic and they are silent and no backup comes from them at all, then that's really disappointing as well. I mean, so it is. You know, if I have anyone on the mic on my channel and they start badmouthing any of my friends, I certainly won't be silent. I will be telling them, I mean, what I think, and I won't be letting them badmouth my friends on my stream. And it was, again, I looked at Corn's stream the other day because we were in a race with him. That was the first time I've looked at anything on his channel for ages, because of the negativity about myself. And again, I'll not be going back and watching anything else, because again, there was negativity. I know you were winding them up and you got a conversation going, but as soon as the conversation was brought out, you could tell, I mean, by the silence, and straight away Adam laughed and says, oh, that's not happening. So there's clearly problems there from somebody, you know. And nobody said anything whenever Adam said that. If that stuff happens on my channel, then I would be saying immediately, well, excuse me, I don't have a problem if Scotty wanted to come back, you know what I mean. So the fact that everyone remains silent speaks volumes, I mean, for who has the say so there. I think John has a big say in what goes on over there, and John is clearly the man who feels aggrieved at what went down, as he's never spoke to us again, or even though we messaged him back, he's never spoke to us or messaged me back or anything. So I'm assuming that with Adam laughing and saying, oh, that's not going to happen. Well, the reason Adam thinks that's not going to happen must clearly be because John has been talking a bit of shite about me, which he's welcome to do. But hopefully, if he talks any shit about me, anybody on that channel who does think that I'm an okay guy should be backing me up rather than just remaining silent, in my opinion. You feel like nobody in the group likes you anymore. I wouldn't worry about it, JJ. You keep your own wee happy attitude, son. I mean, so it is. We're all fully grown men. And in my opinion as well. Yeah, I don't even want to really go there. I mean, so don't. It's not good for me. It's impossible to look good. It's impossible for me to look good if I'm speaking negative about anything. But I will say this: if your mum and dad go and watch that stream, I mean that Karen did the other day, your mum and dad will not allow you to watch that stream again, unless your mum and dad are happy with rude, crude words and sexual innuendos and stuff like that. There, it definitely doesn't help the stream come across like it looks professional whenever there's a bunch of guys effing and blinding and using all sorts of, I mean, rude words. I would like to think, like I've said quite a few times, my channel is certainly not for children. There will be swear words in my channel as well. It's a racing channel, but your mum and dad, hopefully, if they ever watch my channel, they should not have a problem with you watching my channel. And I am fully aware when I'm on my channel that you are here and that you're 12 and other people are here too, as is everyone on Karen's channel. They're all aware that you're 12 and you're in there and you're able to hear everything that they're saying as well. I don't know. No, my channel's not for children. You know the way YouTube asks you, is your stuff for, for children or not? I always hit no, like, just in case there's anything that would get you into trouble. If I was to say that my stuff was for children, then perhaps if I say a swear word or something, that could maybe get you into trouble, you know. So just to cover myself, I say that it's not for kids, but I am fully aware whenever I'm talking that there may well be children out there watching me, and so although it's for adults, you're certainly not going to hear any adults only conversation from me. You might hear the odd swear word, but you'll not hear any ridiculous dirty jokes or anything like that there. I just got a message from Happy as well there earlier on, asking me if I wanted to come back to GTFU. And like I said to you, there's no such thing as me going back to GTFU. There was no GTFU. GTFU came from my channel, so it did. The whole bunch of guys, it was all created on my channel, advertised with my name, with my face. Everything about it came about through me and my channel. So it did. So if I did go to it, I would be going to it. It's certainly not going back to anything. Going back to anything would be particular people coming back onto my channel and coming back on board with me, and the name would be changed yet again, because like I say, I love the idea. It was a lot of fun, and hopefully in the future I will I will do something like that again, and it will revolve around my channel. It will be something to do with me, the same as what it was whenever we were all doing it, I mean, together. No, I don't think you don't think my channel is bad. No, I know, nor do I'm just kind of covering myself there, JJ, whenever I tell YouTube that it's not for kids, because YouTube asks you, is your channel for kids? And if you say it is for kids, then if there was one swear word maybe, I mean, then I could be banned, or else I might not be banned from YouTube, but certainly whatever video I swear in will be taken down. I mean, so just to make sure that all the videos is allowed to stay up and stuff like that there, then you kind of just, I kind of have to tell YouTube that it's for, or it's not for kids. But yeah, I'm still talking. I'm sure you can tell, even now, the way I'm talking, sir, I'm still annoyed at that whole situation. I mean, so I am, you know. I'm gutted. I'm gutted with myself as well, because I let myself down. I let Jake, I mean, get to me, I mean, that night. Although we laughed and joked with him for a half an hour. I mean, so we did. We apologised for making him feel bad. We told him we would remove the silly video that we made of him. We told him that we were trying to cheer him up, and rather than upset him. And a half an hour I tried, I mean, to get any kind of normal conversation out of the guy at all, and he done nothing except for make it very, very clear that he was very angry at me. And then he went from being angry at me, I mean, to starting to play music and trying to make a fool out of me live on my own stream. And not one person, I mean, gave me any backup, which was hugely disappointing, considering there was 4 guys there who classed themselves as Scotty admins. Can you imagine that stuff happening on any other YouTube channel? Can you imagine that going down? I mean, with Jev, can you imagine Jev having a bunch of his own admins all in chat and talking to him, and then some guy comes in making a fool out of him live on his own stream, and Jev asks one of his admins, excuse me, can you kick that guy out of the chat? And nobody gives him any backup. It's just, that stuff should not have went down at all. You know, it's, I should have had that backup in my opinion, whether they thought I was being a bit of a dickhead or not. I only began to be a bit of a dickhead after a half an hour of laughing and joking and not letting them annoy me and trying to cheer the wee lad up. And as I say, the wee lad shouldn't have been on. The only reason Jake was even in the chat was because of me, because 3 times other admins had come to me and spoke to me about how cheeky, I mean, Jake was, how angry Jake got, I mean, during a race. It happened almost to every single race. You always had some sort of anger from him whenever things didn't go his way. And even though, and I think 2 or 3 weeks before all that happened as well, I think John, I mean, mentioned to me that he had asked Jake not to use, I mean, the C word. And the very next stream, Jake out of nowhere deliberately started using the C word over and over again. And I immediately gave John my backup. I immediately went into the chat and told Jake that I was really disappointed in him and I wasn't going to stand for that. He had been specifically asked, I mean, not to speak like that. So John received my backup when he needed it, as would any of the other admins. if anything like that had it been going down in the chat. So it was really disappointing for me that I didn't receive any backup at all whatsoever. It was humiliating. But we frequently humiliate ourselves and make a fool of ourselves, so I suppose there's not a lot of difference there, is there? We'll probably continue to do that in the future as well. I'm sure we'll make a fool of ourselves plenty of times by making silly videos and making up stupid songs and stuff. Floss, nothing important, Floss, nothing important, nice there. Old stuff that has kind of just been brought up again there. I mean, so it is not stuff that I particularly want to have back in my head, because like I said, it was very disappointing to me whenever it all happened. I kind of lost interest in doing streams and everything for a lot of weeks. I mean, so did just because of it, and the channel is really only starting to get back to. I'm starting to get back to my happy self now, because after it, we still struggle to get rooms and all going now. I mean, but there was a whole wee bunch of friends there that basically played with us and joined us every time we got on, and from that happened, it was totally different. It was like they all stopped coming into the chat and talking in the chat again. Even now we still get them in the chat now and again. I mean, the likes of Harry still comes into the chat and says hello now and again, so he does, but like Harry was a regular every single time was streamed. Harry was in the chat talking to me, having fun, and we virtually never see Harry anymore, along with a whole pile of the other guys. I mean, Tom was my most regular viewer. I mean, the amount of conversations that we used to have every single stream. I mean, with Tom, it was like he was the first one in. He was waffling away to me all day, and I miss Tom a lot. I think so do. But yeah, we don't see Tom anymore, and if we do see him, it's a hello and cheerio. He certainly doesn't come in for any conversations with us or anything like that anymore. He comes in and says hello and then cheerio. So it's I'll just say we've continued anyway, and we've moved on. It was a big lesson learnt. I was very gullible. I mean, so it was. It was definitely a lesson learnt in terms of I should have been communicating way more with my admins, the people who I felt like were admins on my channel. I should have been in much more communication with them, but they were probably much more in communication with all the other people who played and entered the races, the likes of Jake and Harry and yourself and Ak and all. It was like the admins were more in communication with those guys than with me. So whenever I had some kind of problem with one of those guys, then it was kind of, I'm sure they must have felt like I was asking them to go against one of their friends or something, you know. It's a shame. I'm gutted. I'm still gutted, and I'll always be gutted at how it went, you know. As I say, I feel like I've lost that. The bond. That I had with. I certainly feel like with Tom and with Brummy, and with John as well. I felt like there was a bond there. With John too, and Happy had just came on board as well onto the admin team, and I kind of felt like there was a wee bond there and I don't know. I'm a bit devastated that that's lost, because I really appreciated the stuff that they were doing for me, especially Tom and Brummy. Tom and Brummy went out of their way, I mean, to make me libraries, make me songs, and stuff like that there. And as I say, I'm gutted that I've lost that closeness, I mean, with those guys. But we've had to move on, and hopefully we've got a bit of happiness back. I mean, so we do. And if we keep on playing, and we keep our happiness as much as we can, then hopefully more will come. And any who don't want to be here are more than welcome to choose their own paths, as we all are. My face cam is off at the moment, sir. Would you like to see the face? Let me look at the beard. The beard's a wee bit all over the place today, so it is. No, I'm going to leave that off. My beard's sticking out to the right hand side because of how I was sleeping on it. It doesn't matter how much I brush it. I need to go and splash some water over it. Jerry says all sounds a bit heavy at the moment. Oh, I'm sure there'll be quite a few, Jerry, going back on the stream and listening. And like I say, hopefully I'm not offending anybody. It's impossible really for me to look. You can't look good if you're speaking down about people, you know. I'm more. It's a shame that I don't even want to go and watch those guys. You know what I mean? I mean, because I'm worried that there's going to be negative stuff, I mean, said about me, and no one is going to give me any backup in the room, because it kind of lowers your whole mood. I mean, so for me anyway. I don't know what the rest of yous are like, or how yous deal with life, but things can get you down. Right. Get away. We're not going to be in first place, are we? Even just for a second. Come on. Give me a taste of it for a wee second. Ah, there's my taste. There's my taste. Oh, here. I like the taste of that. Can I keep that for a wee bit longer? Oh, oh. Oh, come on, Stephen. Don't be silly. Get over it. Ah, come on. I didn't even pull him apart there or nothing. But yeah, much appreciated, JJ. I know you're only having a laugh and a wee bit of mixing. But yeah, I'd appreciate it. You've no need to wind the guys up or anything, or try to get some sort of reaction out of them about me, because as I say, that was the first time I'd actually went back, I mean, to watch anything to do, I mean, with corn stream in a few months, because the last couple of times I had been on, I'd seen a couple of negative stuff about myself, and people who I thought were my friends were there to give me backup, and no backup came, or no comments came about their opinions on me, and it's not a nice feeling. So I'd appreciate it if you tried not to do that with your waffle. I know it's fun and you're wanting to see people's reactions, but I don't want to see people's reactions. I don't want to hear Adam laughing and giggling and saying, oh, that's definitely not happening, as if he's in control of it not happening, because it'll be me who's in control of it not happening, because I do not want it, you know. Whereas you're on there making the guys think that I want to go back to them. Scotty says he'd really like to go back, and we clearly don't. It ended up, it could have been annoying for those guys as well, because then they think I want to go back and they come asking me if I want to go back, and I'm like, no, who told you that? I've no intentions of going back. I certainly, if other things pop up and other opportunities come up, like I say, I will for sure be very interested in doing that kind of stuff on my channel again, because it was a lot of fun. I would not be embarrassed, or I would not feel bad this time about making it clear, right, listen, there's going to be 3 people in the chat, or there's going to be a team of 4 of us in the chat. When people kept on asking, am I allowed to join the chat, I would not be embarrassed now, or feeling bad now, just to tell them no one else is allowed in the chat. It's a wee team of us 4 and that's it. Because I feel like that then, as well as being able to follow the conversation and stuff that's going on in the room, it allows you to get to know the people actually in the chat. I mean, rather than struggling to follow a conversation, trying to recognise there's 9 or 10 different voices on the chat and all, and trying to recognise who people are and stuff like that. You know, if there's a small team of 3 or 4 guys, then everybody's individual personality starts coming out, and you basically have yourself like a wee commentary team there for whenever there's a lack in my shite talk. I know my shite talk can carry on for a while, but yes, it's a real good wee idea, I think, which no one else is really doing either. You know, there's not any other channels out there that I see anyway that actually has, I mean, like a wee team. I mean, the nearest thing to it would be Hugh Hatrick. I mean, whenever he does a wee stream with one of his friends or something like that there, then that's I've never really seen any other streams or anything out there, I mean, that has a small wee bunch of people, and they're all there actually talking about that race and like that. Aha, too greedy, we're leaning back. Sorry if I'm missing any chat. I've not really been reading the chat, sure I haven't. I've been talking a bit of shite. I went into a wee world of my own there. Right, the last I read was JJ saying it feels like nobody in the group likes me anymore. Hopefully that's not because you stayed here with me, JJ. Eh? Hopefully that's not why. You feel like when anybody has a chance to moan at you, they take it. I've noticed. So I have. Don't worry, but don't you let that get you down. You keep your same wee happy attitude. And they'll not be able to do anything but start to like you, son. I mean, so they won't. You have a lovely wee attitude about you. I didn't actually make the championship. I wouldn't even have a clue where to do that. I'll just point that out, JJ, in case the guys are thinking that I'm saying that I made the championship. I didn't. I didn't make the championship at all. All I done was brought the boys on board with my channel, and they done all that stuff, which I greatly appreciated. It only could have helped the channel, and it was a lot of fun. Hello Callum as well, mate. If I hadn't said that, and we'll say it. We've seen Floss, we said hello to Floss. What have you done moment? Where's your face cam? And what fuse? You need to hog tie a few people on Red Dead to get a laugh or two. I know. We're not too bad, Jerry, at the moment. It's not, we're over it now, you know. It was a wee bit upsetting just when I went to catch, because I actually went in the car stream to to watch his race because of the FIA race that we had with Karn. So we went in to see how his race went, because he ended up in last. So we wanted to see, after a real good qualifying, I went in to see how it all went for him. And then we ended up hanging about and seeing that JJ started winding them up and saying Scotty wants to come back. Scotty says he wants to come back. And then again it just starts. People, not that there was a lot of talk, as I say, but it doesn't take a lot of talk for it to be made clear that clearly talk has been going on in the background, whether it's on stream or not on stream. You know, the fact that Adam laughed straight away and says, well, that's not happening. Clearly there has been talk in the background about me, which it kind of brought it back a wee bit, and then started thinking about, my goodness, how close did I used to feel to those guys, and now look at it. You make the apex. Yeah, everyone races slightly different as well, you know what I mean? Right, where are we at the moment? Queen, Aguera, Shanghai. I don't know any of those ones, so I don't want to Agueda. I've done Agueda a couple of times, and we're going to Agueda. God damn it! It will be a nice track whenever we learn it, but we just haven't learned it yet. We used to love Agueda. In the last motocross game we played, it was one of our favourite tracks. What time are we at now? 20 past 6. Where has the day went? My goodness. Ugh. We got the motorcycle insured today for another year. Hopefully the weather will change and we'll get to use it a wee bit this year. Let's go over. I'm not sure, JJ. I went in and drove around it there. I was hoping it was that track, only backwards. I've done that wee small track, only in the opposite direction before, and I quite enjoyed it. I didn't mind it. But I drove around it there when a few hours ago when I first got on, and yeah, I'm not overly fussed on it. I'll see what happens on Wednesday. We'll see how we're feeling, but if we do it, it'll probably be another poor result, as we don't want to do it enough. I mean, to put any practice in and have FIA practices and stuff. So if we do it, we'll just be doing it for a wee bit of fun, and we'll more than likely lose an odd bit of ratings. Ugh, what was that, Stephen? What was that? No. Trying to copy people's lines there that we've seen. I think it is possible to hit that downside. I've never seen anybody hitting it, but I've seen people getting very, very close to it. That makes me think, right, that is going to be the line that people start hitting at some point. Oh. Ah, same. Daydreaming. Do you want me to get it? You getting it? Oh, better line this time. Is it possible? I wonder. No. But close enough to still think that eventually, in a few months, if you're flowing, it should be possible if you just were to nail that line. Is dodge an option for next season, or have I not liked this season? I don't know, JJ. I have no idea. I haven't even thought about it. Yeah, the penalties are it must be a lot harder guys to make. I know, like, it's very easy to complain about games and stuff that's wrong with games, especially penalties in racing games. If it's not penalties, it's track cuts. I mean, so it is. Like, I can tell already in this one that if there was a website on this here game and they were doing all proper races, there would be a lot of complaints about people track cutting, because it allows you wee tiny track cuts here, there and everywhere, and that's kind of what it wasn't so much the penalties in the motocross game, but there's always some kind of problems. And for me, Gran Turismo is dealing with those problems better than anybody else. It's the first racing game that I've ever played that has had any kind of a sportsmanship rating, and without the sportsmanship rating, then it goes back to being exactly the same as every other racing game or track game that I've tried, which has been a nightmare, because you're in lobbies with totally random people. So you're in lobbies with these guys who are really fast and have a lot of pace, as well as guys who have not got a clue where they're going, and usually it's an absolute destruction derby. Gran Turismo was the first ever racing game that I've played that it kinda works. There is stuff there to complain about for sure, but it kinda works. And I think the best thing that they could do with their penalty system, for me, is leave it alone. It doesn't matter how bad the penalty system is or what, because if you're good at the game, you will learn how that penalty system works. You will learn how to avoid those penalties, and the cream will float to the top, the same as it always does. I mean, those guys don't end up at the top just because they're fast. They end up at the top because they're smart. They know when to pass, they know when to avoid contact and all, because they're not only learning to be fast, they're learning how the penalty system operates. If you're allowed to pass on the outside with a bit of contact on the inside, to pick all these things up, and then you learn. For me, the main problem with Gran Turismo's penalty system is they won't fucking stop messing about with it. 1 week you're allowed to pass on the inside, and the next week you're not allowed to pass on the inside, and it just keeps on. 1 week, 1 minute you're allowed to nudge someone in the back, and the next week you're not allowed to nudge someone in the back, and that's why, for me, it's really annoying. Just leave it alone. Even if we are left with a terrible penalty system, the good guys will learn how to deal with that penalty system. Can you hear Red Dead in the background? Yes, Jesse is in the background on Red Dead indeed, Gary. You heard correct. You don't think GT7 will be as good as other people are saying? You think the penalties will be the exact same? Yep, for sure. I think they'll be using, and I don't think that's because of them. And I don't blame them. And it must be hard to do. If it was as simple as what everybody thinks it is, then every racing game would be able to have something in place. It must be really hard, I mean, for them to get it just right. The fact that they do keep on tinkering with it and keep on trying to fix it, it's at least they're trying, and they're just not able to get that stuff right. Every what, love? Every Monday night. Would you like to do a Red Dead stream tonight? I know I am. I'm gonna. Although I was actually thinking to myself, you know, love, Monday starts with an M, and so does Motocross. So I was thinking to myself that I should maybe. I do need to come up with some kind of routine as well, maybe for the channel. I mean, so as we can have like a wee bit of knowledge about when we're getting on with what game. But yeah, I've thought that myself. I'll have to sit down maybe and have a think about that, and we'll try and get, I mean, some kind of consistency going in terms of on a certain day of the week we'll definitely be doing a Red Dead stream. We'll definitely be on Gran Turismo on these days, and this day will be for the motocross game and stuff, just so as anyone who's interested in those games. They've not changed the penalties for a while. No, they're still crap. Also, with the BOP, with Group 4, it's all wrong, and it still hasn't been changed. I still love the game. I really do. For me, it's still the best. It's the best racing game out there. For anyone, if you're not a real into all your settings and your sim racing kind of stuff, if you're someone who enjoys sticking your PlayStation on and having a badass racing game to jump in and immediately be able to play, that also will put you into lobbies with people at around about the same level, I mean, that you're at, it's head and shoulders above the rest for me. I know we all hate a lot of stuff about it, but I don't like complaining too much about a penalty system. If you think Gran Turismo was bad, so, my goodness, you see back in the, like, if you think these here, I mean, the wee bugs and stuff that people complain about, the pit parties and all, and trying to get a race going, my goodness, do you see some of the motocross, I mean, tournament races, I mean, that I done 9 or 10 years ago? It used to take an hour sometimes you'd have been sitting for an hour trying to get all your friends into the lobby, and everybody starting, and everyone just had to keep rebooting over and over and over again. There's sometimes I've seen me sitting for over an hour just rebooting, trying to join a room, rebooting, trying to join a room, and it's just, I can definitely appreciate what Gran Turismo has that's really good, and focus more on that stuff, I mean, rather than the pure penalty system. As I say, I enjoy having a penalty system, whether it's a poor one or not. way better than having no penalty system at all. As I say, no penalty system, and it's destruction derby. Even the old Formula 1 games that I played, I never online was of no interest to me at all ever in any road racing game on a car. Even the old, I think it might have been Gran Turismo 3 or Gran Turismo 4. It was like 10 years ago, whatever one was out 10 years ago. I was playing the motocross game and a new Gran Turismo came out, and we all bought it, and it was great fun. Whenever, I mean, we were having races in private lobbies and it was only us and our friends. It was good. But when your friends weren't online and you went on to a random room, it was not good at all. It was a destruction derby. Trying to survive the race was almost impossible. JJ says he thinks we should get into a routine of Red Dead every night. Huh? No, definitely not. Well, no, it's not even it's not even that it definitely wouldn't be. Like, I mean, Jesse says no once a week, but yeah, it's not even that it wouldn't be more than once a week. But I'll definitely have to come up with a day where it's definitely going to be Red Dead, and there could be other nights where I feel like we go Red Dead, so there could be more. But on this particular day, it's always Red Dead at a certain time. Yeah, I'll have to sit down and have a think about that and come up with some kind of routine for games on certain days. Maybe play Red Dead tonight if Jesse wants a wee go at it, but I don't think Monday will be. Right, the contact's on here. I don't think Monday will be the Red Dead night, because Monday starts with an M. Like I say, you could have Motocross Mondays, or else, yeah, something. You know what I'm like, the way I like talking, my wee bit of shite, the final event of the evening and so on. We're like coming up with a wee story to tell people. Well, Monday Motocross Madness or something, I don't know. That sounds like the night to be doing Motocross. Welcome to Monday's Madness Motocross or something. I'm sure we'll come up with something. What, love? Oh, I'll not be getting on just yet. Sunday would be a good night for Jerry, as he's off on Mondays. Yeah. I will definitely. I'll let you know about that. I would like a bit more of a routine myself. Routines are good. A life with no routine in it is all over the place. Any kind of routine is good. And the only routine really we have tried to stick to is, for sure, is Wednesdays and Saturdays. But the fact that we're enjoying other games, we still have SnowRunner as well that we haven't been back on in a while, and there's mods and everything now in SnowRunner 2. So I'll pick a night for Red Dead. In fact, now that we know, Jerry, that Sunday's good for you, we'll probably choose Sunday as our definite night for Red Dead. And we don't need anything concrete for every night, you know, because it's good to have nights where it's up to you what you do, whether you want to have a wee break from streaming, or if other new games and stuff come out. Or if there's a particular FIA race that I'm looking forward to, then you've got time for a bit of a practice and what have you. Right, come on, concentrate, Stephen. Try and get some kind of flow going. There you go. Come on. Ah, what's that? What was that? You tried to cheat. You tried to cheat. Oh, sorry. No, I wasn't really aware that your horse can reverse. But the child, was it the child, or you showed me that it can kind of walk over the side? Oh yeah, I didn't know that. R1 and it makes it do that. I think I'll make this one my last one, you know, and we'll end this stream, and then we'll see if we get on Red Dead. What are you up to yourself anyway, JJ? Have you, if we get on Red Dead, have you any interest in it? Mr. Sean in the house as well. Sorry Sean if I missed you there. We're in a wee daydream. What are you saying, mate? You still play Reflex? No, Sean, how do you know me? Who are you? Who are you? Tell me your PlayStation name, Sean. Did you used to play Reflex with me? I would love, if it was possible, to still play Reflex on console. I would be all over that shit, mate. All over that stuff, Sean. Hopefully you're still there. Long ago to Sean, right? That 5 minutes he's been waiting. Sorry, Sean, that we missed that. I mean, do I know you, Sean? Are you an old Reflexer yourself? I believe Reflex is still very, very popular on PC. There's still all kinds of new tracks coming out for it all the time. It wouldn't surprise me if it was still the most popular motocross game out of the whole lot. That MX Bikes is, I think it's about to blow up and become really popular. The last time I had a go at Reflex was about a month ago, whenever my son came up, and he pays like the £7.99 a month for all the free PlayStation stuff that you get. I don't know if it's PlayStation Now or what you call it, but he pays that, which allows him to play Reflex. Although there's no servers anymore for it, you know. The servers, I don't really understand how servers work and stuff like that there, but apparently, like, there has been loads and loads of people from Reflex servers were closed down. We all want them back on. We would love them back on, but apparently it's not possible to do that anymore. Apparently, I mean, something to do with the makers of the game, or I'm not sure if it was Rainbow Studios or who it was, can't remember, but I mean, they closed down, or I mean, something happened with them, and they're not able to bring it back online now, because I mean, the stuff that you need to do it is no longer there. And I don't understand exactly why they can't do that, because a bit of me thinks to myself, well, I know it's, even if it's no longer there and the people who made it aren't there anymore, is it not possible for anybody else just to fucking, to open up servers, for it again on consoles? As I say, I don't understand why it's impossible for them to do, but I have heard lots of answers on that question about why are you not able to make Reflex servers available again for people to play, and apparently it's not possible to do it anymore, because whatever the code or something was that company had, that code, no one knows it anymore. It's not there. So they're not able to do it, which is a shame, because I could virtually guarantee you, if they turned on the Reflex servers again now, and Reflex became a game that was available on a PlayStation 4, it would immediately be a, you see how many people is on this game right now playing it, how many lobbies and stuff there is. If Reflex was brought out again, there would be any amount of lobbies for you to join. There would be a shitload of people still playing it. The guys here are lucky enough to keep playing it now, are PC guys, and they are very lucky as well, because they're on PC. They've got, we all used to complain, even though Reflex did have loads of tracks, it had a shitload of Supercross tracks and a shitload of real badass outdoor tracks as well. Eventually, after playing it for 3 or 4 years, it's the same as any racing game. The thing that everybody wants is more tracks, and now the guys on PC have thousands of tracks probably that's able to be raced on Reflex. There's still, like, almost anyone who streams any motocross games, they have not stopped streaming Reflex at some point, even if it's not their main game that they play anymore, even if they play this game or MX Bikes or whatever, you will keep on seeing every now and again, maybe every month or two, they still have a Reflex stream because a new track or something has been brought out. Jerry said he's getting a wee drink and then he's going to hop on Red Dead. Okay, she says. Okay, I must have missed Sean, did I? Goodness sake, Sean. I'm disappointed now. I hope Sean's not an old friend or someone who remembers me from back in the day. Sean, get back here. Tell them how fast Scotty Senior used to be at Reflex. Are you not sitting down? Yeah, I am. Haha, we believe you, says Jerry, as he watches my slow ass on this game, thinking, no fucking way was he ever good at a motorbike game. Only good at it, but because of the hours I put into it as well, you know. Anytime I went on holiday and had a wee break for a couple of weeks, it was one of those games as well. You came back to it and you were like, oh my god, this is hard. It took you another 2 or 3 weeks just to get your speed back up. For me anyway, of course there's always special people who just bounce on it and had speed, but for me, I only had the speed and consistency because I bloody loved it. I was never off that game as soon as I finished work. I was usually home, and I was on the website all day while I was in work. I mean, chatting away, making races, making championships and stuff, and the way they run the website as well. They had championships, 3 different championships running at 3 different times every day of the week. So if your available day, the race was a Monday, and that was all you could do, then you still had a whole championship that you were able to run, because each day had its own championship. And there was like 3 different. There was a European championship, usually at about 5 o'clock started. Then there was another one started at about 8 o'clock, and then the Americans series always started at about maybe 3 o'clock in the morning or something. But yeah, it kind of all, no championships ever was on a different day, if you get what I'm saying. If you raced every Saturday, then you could have entered a championship and won the Saturday championship, rather than having to miss any rounds and so on. But yeah, every single day there was races to be done on it, and I was addicted to that stuff. We were on that constantly. Every chance we had to be on that, we were on it. And even when there was no championships going, we had our own lobby opened, because we just loved playing the game that much. And even if we had no fast guys in the lobby ways, we just opened a public lobby and had fun with all the slow guys, slowing down and toying with them, deliberately letting them pass you before a certain wave section or a certain rhythm section, just because you knew that they were slow, and you wanted to hit a certain jump and let them see how you were meant to take that section, because you seen that they were doing a double in, maybe double, and it seems impossible to some of them. I know whenever I was at their level and I bumped into my first fast guy from the website, I wrote him a message and told him he was a cheater. I said, "You're a cheater. You can't jump that far. It's impossible for your motorbike to jump that far." And he just laughed at me. It's like, it was a lot of fun, even when it was a whole room of slow guys, because you'd have deliberately slowed down, and you could be almost guaranteed after the race there was at least one person who was writing you a message accusing you of cheating and saying you're a cheater. And then whenever you told him that you weren't a cheater, he was just like, "I'm not stupid. I see you jump over that whole rhythm section in one jump. You have to be cheating." And you're just like, "No, join this website and go and check out some of the fast laps and stuff, and you'll learn how to play the game." Actually take a big chunk of that first bit and none of the second bit. There's also wee corners like this here that I've seen some guys cheating and going like that and basically using that wee bit inside. Not that corner, that's too tight. But that's what I meant earlier about if there was a website doing all proper races here, there would be complaints about this game just because of the lines that you're able to hit. Likes of coming in there, it could be very possible. Let me see, let me try and find a corner that has a wee lip on the inside of it. I noticed that earlier when I was on it. I was behind a guy and he just didn't hit the track. He went off the track and used that wee bank on the inside to nail the life out of a corner, and it never reset him. And then there's other bits where you're still on the track and it does reset you. I don't think we're going to find any of those wee corners being inside. The likes of that there, see the way it's like a wee bank on the inside, actually off the track. I'm not sure what track it was earlier that I seen the guy doing that, but I seen him doing it in 2 different corners, and I thought to myself, ah, you hacker, you hacker. If there was a website and I was the host or an admin of that website and I seen you doing that, you're getting no points, you're cutting the track. Right, I think I'm gonna call it a day on this game. It is 10 to 7. I'll have myself a wee half hour of a break at least, and then I'll maybe join Jesse. Oh, excuse me. I'll maybe join Jesse on Red Dead. We'll do an wee stream for a few hours. Thank you, boys. Anyone who's hopped in, apologies if I certainly hope we haven't offended anybody. We shouldn't have offended anybody. We're just trying to give our own point of view from our own side in that whole situation that went down a lot of months back. You know, it's not nice memories for myself. We'll thank you any of you who's hopped on. Apologies, Mr. Sean Newth, if we've missed you there, mate. It's a shame too, Sean. I would love to know who you are. Are you an old reflex buddy? Or what? My goodness, Sean, I would have played spin to win with you there and handed out a fabulous prize. I'm gutted that we've missed Sean there. Hopefully we'll maybe see him at a later stage on a different game. We'll catch us. I'll catch us within an hour, guys. I'll be on Red Dead within an hour, and we'll do a wee stream. See you soon.